Hello and welcome to the Breakdown podcast from Q Radio and Ulster Rugby. This week I'm joined by Tommy Bowe and Craig Gilroy. How are you boys?
Great, nice to be here.
Very good, thanks.
Well, firstly, I know they always start at meetings with apologies from people who can't make it, and as you've seen already today, there's been quite a bit of commotion, shall we say, in the background. You two guys came in and I went down to the kitchen to make a cup of tea, and I think pretty much all the ladies in the background were sort of, let's get a picture.
The Craig Gilroy effect.
Craig Gilroy effect.
Everywhere you go. He spruced his hair up particularly for this. He's got the tan on. He's looking sharp.
Always pines it off onto me.
The cute girls.
See, he's used to panning it off, probably.
Yes,
that's the thing.
He's an expert.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's up to.
Out of bed here. Gilly's clean shaven, ready to rock. So.
What type of hair gel was it?
I don't know, just a bit of VO5, I think.
Keep it simple. Well, no, as I say, we always start with apologies from people who can't be here, and someone who is very, very disappointed she can't be here is the lovely Kate Conway from Stephen and Kate and Breakfast.
Yeah.
So she sent me a letter to read to you guys. She said she's so disappointed she can't be here. So in my pocket I have said letter, and she has a special request as well, which you'll hear about in just a second. Right. But she's put a lot of effort into this.
Sure, we'll get that later.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't worry, it's all PG, it's all fine. So she says, and I'll attempt her.
Did she actually type this out?
Well, this is incredible. She spent half her shift basically this morning. Stephen was wondering where she was for 2 hours. She was thinking about what to say. So she said, "Hi Tommy and hi Craig." I'm trying my best here with her lovely voiceover.
Yeah,
you know.
Like it.
She says, "Deeply disappointed. Some could say devastated. I'm not here to see you guys, but you know the way it is. I'm up at the crack of dawn for work, and not even having you two there in front of me could help keep my eyes open." So this is what she says. It's just, I'm reading on actually. There are certain things I can't say here.
No, put it all in.
Yeah, let's be honest here.
But anyway, she says, I think the main point here is, she says, "I'm training for the Belfast Marathon coming up in May, and it's been going reasonably well so far, but Stephen is convinced I'm actually spending my time on nights out with the girls." And you think, well, maybe that's just her being sort of, a bit honest. She says, "As I don't want him to find out this is true, can I ask a massive favour of you two?" So this is where the question comes in, and you can see you see the cogs turning here. The guys are sort of wondering what could this be. So she wants to know. I would love if you two could help me by running alongside me on the day. This is the day of the marathon, so what, 1st of May, I think.
And
He's not even taking a second to think about it.
It's definitely something on that
day. Already the excuses are coming out here. And she says, "And help improve my photos. I mean, my race time," she says. So, yours sincerely, hairy-handed quizmaster Kate Conway. And hairy-handed, I will say, is in inverted commas. You know her nickname she gets from Stephen.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, it's
fair play to her for doing the marathon. That's great.
Isn't it great?
It's start of May, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think the 1st of May. I think
would never do a marathon. I don't think.
No, it'd be very, very tough.
I think the two of us, well, me particularly, being very fast, Gilly a little bit slower. We're not
take
built.
Me on your back, maybe.
Jinx, the hair gel is sort of
half the size of Tommy.
We're not built for marathons, I don't think.
No.
I think we can run about 100 metres, and that's about the height of it. So, which we might come along to give her a wave anyway. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be getting. I think training that day, looking at the schedule. All right, might be tough to get out there, but we'll see how we go.
Mm-hmm. I think you two are favourites. Maybe Franco, I think, as well. But
really?
She did say if it weren't for you guys being able to help her out, she could ask for maybe someone else at all. Do you think there's anyone in the squad who might want to?
Paul Marshall, probably. He's ran a few marathons, I think.
Yeah.
He likes to help out as well, so
we'll get the beagle of Paul Marshall up.
Yeah,
he'll be the man to do it. Exactly.
She'll be loving this. Anyway, moving on. Is today a bit of a day off for you guys?
Yeah, today's day off. We trained our Monday and Tuesdays, and obviously with the game being on Friday, we've Wednesday off. So there was a bit of yoga this morning. The guys are taking part in yoga and Pilates now, which is a new thing to try and keep us, probably us older lads, a bit more flexible. And kind of there's physio and bits and pieces like that. But generally today is a day for relaxing and just kind of letting your body recover.
Was the yoga getting quite popular with the lads, is it? Is that something that most of the guys are enjoying? Or
the class isn't very big now at the minute. There's not many of us go to it, but I think it's actually very useful, to be honest with you. I think it's something that has become a bit more popular. I think flexibility and stuff with the amount of training that we do nowadays, it's about recovery and trying to help your body being kind of withstand kind of the punishment that it takes. So anything small, and yoga is one of these new ones that has come in, and yeah, it's been good. I think it's been, the boys enjoying it.
Yeah, it used to be kind of like a Wednesday was just like a complete day off, and you wouldn't do anything. And then you'd kind of find that you'd maybe actually stiffen up from inactivity, from doing nothing. So now Wednesday, still a down day, but like Tommy said, you're expected to do a wee bit of, whether that's yoga or Pilates, or even go for a swim, do a bit of stretching, something, just keep the body ticking over for a bit of training tomorrow and then into the game at the weekend. Yeah,
and an exciting time, of course, in the season, because we've got 7 games to go, and you guys are now 5 points off the top 4, looking ahead to the playoffs, and knowing what happened last year, of course, done at the RDS. How's the squad feeling now this time, especially maybe having learnt from certain things last season?
Yeah, pretty good. I think had a bit of a rough patch there a wee while ago, and it's good to come out of that. And we've had 3 consecutive bonus point wins now, and that's been great. And there's a good buzz about the squad, and that's something we'll take a lot of confidence for and bring into our oncoming games.
Yeah, nice to see the likes of Pete Nelson and Marcel Coetzee back in the fold.
Yeah, brilliant. For Marcel, new signing coming in, it was very difficult for him, to come into a new club, to meet new people, but not actually be able to play because of his knee injury. But the performance that he's put on the pitch in the 2 games that he's played just shows the world class talent that he is. And I think everybody was delighted to see Pete Nelson back. The poor guy was out for almost 15 months. He hurt his foot pretty badly, and I was in the gym with him a lot with my knee injury, and you see the struggles that you go through and trying to get your body, these injuries back fit again, and 15, or I think it was around 15 months is it's a very, very long time. It's a tough place to be in, but to see him back on the pitch again and playing so well as well, it looks like he hasn't been away. So the whole squad were delighted to see Pete back, and hopefully things will only keep getting better and better for him.
Well, it's been a bit of a weird week, as you guys said to me before the podcast. Of course, we had the incident of the pie eating. Wayne Shaw, Sutton goalkeeper, reserve goalkeeper, during the match. I don't think we'll be seeing any of that at the Kingspan on Friday night, will we?
You always smell the burgers. You ever get that when you run out onto the pitch?
Yes.
You can actually smell the burger van.
Just run out onto the pitch and run straight out the door again to the burger van.
Definitely when there's the warm up is, you kind of get this whiff of burgers. And so.
Yeah. I find it when you're walking into the ground. When you're just coming in, and you're walking past all the food stalls and everything, you just need to make a beeline for the change rooms.
We've had to
not get
resist,
tempted.
Yeah, well, the last time I was chatting to Callum Black, also known as the Baldy Barista, as we all know. How's that going for him? Is he planning maybe to get the coffee machine out there at some stage and be treating some of the fans, perhaps?
Yeah, he's big into his coffee. Callum is. Himself and Cavey are opening up a new coffee shop very soon, so that's it's a bit of a work in progress for them. But again, I think it's great. I think it's very important to have something outside of rugby to kind of concentrate on as well. And for Callum, he's very, very passionate about his coffee. He's really. He's got all the boys into it. Everybody, he's bringing in samples. He's making coffees for boys, and he's actually, he's very good. And it's not just your normal Nescafe either. I mean, he can make a proper coffee. Unlike me and Gilly, we try to do it, but it's not quite the same. How's your latte art coming on?
I can make an okay one.
You make a latte, yeah.
Okay. It takes ages though with the milk, so I've kind of gone off the cappuccinos and lattes and just making myself a couple of Americanos. So then you go back to try and make a bit of a latte art, and you've forgotten. You need to keep doing it. And Callum would be someone who'd be doing that every day. And he's
practicing.
some of the styles that he comes off with are unbelievable.
Yeah, does he must have to phone Les up occasionally and just say, sorry Les, I can't make weight training this morning, I'm just working a bit hard on the old machine there.
I don't know if that would go down too well.
I think
that would not go down well.
No matter how much Les might like coffee, I think it's not a good idea.
See poor old Callum again if that was the case.
Well, moving back to things in the rugby world, it's been a strange week also in the Six Nations, because we saw some unusual tactics from Italy against England, notably at the breakdown. Not just to throw in there another nice plug for our podcast, but we saw the fact that the Italians weren't necessarily committing to the breakdown, and some of the English guys, James Haskell and Dylan Hartley, were speaking to the ref and saying, well, what are we meant to do? What's going on? The referee replied, said, well, look, I'm a referee, I'm not a coach. What do you guys think of that? I mean, is this the sort of thing that players generally know, or is this because it's something completely out there? It's maybe something that they weren't aware of.
I think it was quite smart from the Italians, and fair play to them for coming up with that. And I think once it happened the first time, I thought maybe they would have sort of found a solution to it, and it kind of went on for pretty much the whole game. Certainly a lot in the first half, and I thought it was, like I said, very smart from the Italians. It was quite funny almost to see the England players kind of asking Pat for advice, and him replying saying that he's a referee and not a coach. It was bizarre, but it was good television.
Yeah. Listen, fair play to the Italians. It was actually something that Joe Schmidt brought up with us the first week of camp, because in the November internationals, Australia got away with it. Pocock, I think it was Conor Murray, passed the ball to Pocock in our own 22, and thankfully it was Paddy Jacko who tackled him, thinking that he was offside. So listen, it's I suppose a small loophole in the rules, and it was very smart by the Italians. They knew it was going to be a very difficult match for them against England in Twickenham, and certainly with the way the Irish played against them, it could have been a long afternoon, but they pulled that out, and to see the panic in the English players' faces and really not knowing what to do was incredible. So credit to them, and it'd be interesting to see now if any other teams now pull that one out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We've got a bit of a break, and then, of course, the following week we're back into action, but against the same opposition. Of course, this is the first time, Craig, I've been chatting to you since you played Italy yourself, and what an impact you had. How many minutes was it you were on for as a sub in the second half? And
here we go.
It's a touchy subject for Tommy.
Here we go.
We'll ask him to leave.
Hat-trick hero.
Tommy, give us a minute here, would you?
Yeah, CJ Stander is coming in later. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
No, it was great to be involved. And
dropped for the hat-trick hero.
I can't remember how long. I got a good bit of time on the pitch. It was maybe about half an hour, a bit longer. But everyone who spoke to me afterwards, the time seemed to get lower and lower and lower. You're only on for 3 minutes and you scored this, But now it's good to get on that down.
Oh, sure, 3 minutes on a hat trick. It's so hard, isn't it?
He's raging at me.
Things are all great for Craig Gilroy, aren't they?
He called me straight after.
He'll get you back. It's all right. Yeah, he'll be back. It's fine.
Earful that he gave me.
I get him back. No chance.
What was this earful like? You obviously got it. Did you tweet him or call him?
He was just raging on the phone. I trusted you, Craig, and you went and did that.
I mean, to come in to get me dropped first of all, and then to come in and score a hat trick. But then
I got
Trimble come in.
Trimby.
So now it's Tommy and I against Trimby, and we're trying to come up with something to break his legs.
We need to kick him out.
Who's next? Is it like a sort of it's sounding a bit more like a conveyor belt than having certain players in. It's
an Ulster winger conveyor belt.
Hopefully it stops it. Well, I mean, the way Jacob and all is going at the minute, certainly the back three is pretty hotly contested at the minute. So.
Yeah. Well, Charles Piazza, of course, what sort of an impact do you think he's had since he's been here? For us watching from the sidelines, it seems pretty clear to us, but what's he added in terms of training and what he brings to the group and so on?
He's a great guy. Actually, on the pitch, it's very easy to see the talent that he has. But off the pitch, he comes from New Zealand. He's got a huge wealth of information and of knowledge, and he's just a really nice guy. He's come in, he's embraced the Ulster lifestyle. He's come in, he's always laughing, smiling, joking, well, dancing pretty much all the time too. He puts us to shame a little bit. And he just is a nice fella to have around himself. And Marcel Coetzee are both, really top guys. And when you make signings, it's always a tough thing, when people come in, it's a tough atmosphere for them to come in and join a new team and meet new people and stuff. And I know Ulster, certainly they look at the players on the pitch, but they also look at what sort of personalities are off the pitch as well. And those two guys have come in and they've added a huge amount, both on and off the pitch, which has been brilliant.
150 appearances. Congratulations.
Thank
Does that feel a bit weird to sort of think of it as 150? I'm sure it's kind of been a bit more of a blur than that, has it?
Yeah, it's taken me a while to get to it. Considering
You make yourself sound like a 70-year-old. I think you're quite old, you know.
My first cap I was working out was in April.
90,
I think it was 2004. Yeah, so it is a long time ago. But yeah, no, listen, it's I suppose it's nice to hit a milestone like that. I've still a lot of catching up to do from Uncle Ashley Trimble and Roger Wilson, who are kind of leading the charge there.
You have a lot for Ospreys as well, don't you? Tell me, did you get to
how many
100?
was it for Ospreys?
80?
Yeah, but 70 really, I think. Yeah. So
This isn't helping his case in terms of
no, I know. But no, listen, it's great. I mean, you know, to play for Ulster was always a dream growing up. You know, I still remember my first cap, and to be going on to win my 150th last weekend was, it's pretty special. So it was, and it was nice to cap it off with a win. Unfortunately, I didn't get to cap it off with a try. Damn it.
Well,
Buzz came on and scored, so I couldn't believe it.
He was the honorary scorer for you. I think
He
you
was,
said to him,
that's it,
Dave, come on and
exactly.
score for me.
Yeah,
You're just being very kind. That's what it was.
That's it.
Paddy Jackson signed a 2-year contract. What are your thoughts, Craig?
That's great to hear. Paddy's a massive talent, and I'm sure he had lots of offers overseas and at various clubs. So it's great to hear he's finally put pen to paper, and you know he's one of my good mates on and off the pitch. So it's be nice to spend the next wee while playing with him.
And he's grown Tommy so much into the number 10 jersey when he was in the first 2 games of the Six Nations this year, of course, when Johnny Sexton was injured. It's great to see how much his game's developed.
Yeah, it's been incredible. He's you know, one of the main leaders of the team now, and it's super news to hear that he's signed on for another couple of years. You know, you've seen the form that he's brought in, you know, over the last couple of seasons. He's only getting better and better, and to have him in Ulster for the next couple of years is just going to be, you know, huge. It's a great statement for Ulster Rugby, and look forward to keep playing with them for another few years.
The other morning on my newsfeed and Facebook, as you do when you wake up, you know, this seems to be the done thing, isn't it? And a funny video resurfaced from 2020.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, because we're now in March. Yeah, he knows exactly where I'm going with this.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
is that back on Facebook?
Yeah,
is it?
it's
It's doing the rounds again.
Butterfly.
The ones, the ones that go forever.
Recircles every couple of years.
For comic relief.
Did you retweet it?
Yeah,
Please
we
get
got
that on the
we got to
queue.
share this back out because basically, for those who maybe haven't seen it yet, you got to see this. Craig Gilroy, a number of others.
It is so bad. At the time, I remember thinking, you know, this is class crack, you know, with all the boys. You know,
Craig Reid.
different charity. See now, oh dear Lord, that is
Gilly
horrible.
wanted
never
to
live
be in
that
a boy
down.
band, you see. So he was himself and
Me, Tommy
Marshy
and
took like
Trimley.
a
Did the ones that get in
water.
touch? Have they been in touch with you yet to say, "Oh, I like what you're doing with the
It was
comic
X
relief"?
Factor.
Yeah,
Thankfully.
well,
Simon
yeah.
Cowell.
No one has been in touch, and no one will be. It was absolutely horrific. I actually I actually took all the social media apps off my phone because I just think people are on it too much. It wastes too much time. So Facebook, you know, Twitter, Instagram, it's all off my phone.
What about Tinder?
It's on my. I don't know what that is.
They haven't deleted- would that be social media
Is
now?
that dating thing that you're always on? So
I thought you had the gel on today for that. Yeah.
You probably reckon it from the profile picture.
Can I tell a
Swipe
story
right.
here or what?
Swipe right.
Yes, go ahead.
Flip's sake. So I put everything on left it on my iPad just because everyone's on their phone flat out all day. So I only get on my iPad like maybe every couple of days, and I went on Facebook the other day and I had all these flipping like notifications from people and like tagging me in that stupid video that had come up again. So it just never seems to go.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a good video, in fairness.
Yeah.
Make sure
At least
that-
I'm about 19. Paul Marshall's like what 28 in it. So
A bit more excuse
at
for
least I
yourself.
can excuse the youth.
Well, it would be it'll certainly be interesting to see if there is something done this year. We're only 3 weeks away. I think Red Nose Day is 24th of March, but yeah.
There you go. Look forward to that one. I will look forward to it anyway.
Well, one thing I noticed was just how much change there's been, not just kind of facilities wise, obviously players and so on as well, but just I think this year we have the Women's World Cup coming up in August. The Kingspan Stadium will be showcased in that internationally, which would be great. But just how much change, Tommy, has there been in the time that you've been with Ulster? I mean, it's just once again we're going back to the fact that he's sitting with his slippers on in his armchair beside the fire. And he's going, if I can remember,
back to the Stone Age.
But it's incredible. I mean, the game has just come on. In the last 10 years, it's just been crazy. The gym we had whenever I first came to Ulster was probably about the size of this little studio. Now we're in the Kingspan Stadium with this state of the art facility, incredible facilities. The stadium is incredible. The supporters we have are just, it's unbelievable. And rugby is just growing more and more. To see so many people out wearing their Ulster jerseys, wearing their Ireland jerseys, people coming up to you commenting on the game, whether good, bad or indifferent, and it's just brilliant to see. Rugby's on a real high at the minute. People are really getting behind the teams, and it's a great place to be. But from the game point of view, it's come on. There's so many areas, things like, we used to watch the videos back in a review meeting on a VHS tape. So you'd pause and be there shaking, where now, there's laptops and iPads and all sorts. You have GPS monitors that monitor every step you take, your heart rate, measure your, the collisions that you're taking, so they can actually tell you after a match, how many collisions you took, how hard the collisions were, and G-force. They can tell you when you're coming back from injury, whether you're running more predominantly on your right leg than your left leg. It's unbelievable, the science that's come into it as well. So everything is there to try and help the game progress and get better. And obviously you have the medical side of things too, because players are now getting bigger, faster, stronger, and the medical support that we get now. We have, I think it's 3-4 full-time physios in there, masseuse, full-time doctors. We get sent off for scans when straight away for cramps, like Gilly did in his calf the other day.
Yeah, right.
Broken nails and stuff like that.
Lost hair gel. Yeah. I can't really talk, so I'm free to say
stuff.
that. Yeah.
But no, it is. It is just incredible the way that the game has come on, and it's become such a spectacle now, and it's great to see.
Yeah. Well, looking ahead to Friday night, just to touch on that again, Treviso. What's going to be the key? It's I suppose difficult not to look ahead perhaps to the playoffs in the later part of the season. Obviously your aspirations are to be there, but in terms of Friday night's game, what have you guys been sort of discussing in terms of game plan, and what sort of things you need to think about? Nothing
more so than usual. I suppose it's a game we'd be looking to win. At this point in the season, we want as many points as possible from the games. We're off the back of 3 consecutive bonus points, and ideally it would be great to get another bonus point this Friday. And it's going to be a tough run into the end of the season, and Zebra and Treviso are having their own little battle to where they can place in the league, so they'll be gunning for it. But for us, we just make it all about us, and some things from the weekend, just get our basics right and not overcomplicate it, and hopefully we can add to our points and have a big finish at the end of the season.
Tommy, what are your thoughts?
It's a short turnaround. We played Zebra on Sunday last Sunday, so with the game on the Friday, it's a little bit of a short turnaround. So the training load's been reduced quite a lot this week. We trained yesterday, we're day off today, and we'll train again tomorrow before the match on Friday. So I think for us as a team, the last couple of weeks we've been concentrating ourselves a huge amount, and we obviously look at and respect the opposition, but I think with the talent that we have, the squad that we have, if we can get things right for ourselves on the pitch, put together a full 80-minute performance, we can beat anybody in the league, beat anybody in Europe, and we do believe that. And with the run-in that we've got towards the end of the season, we need, it's every game is a must-win for us now. We've done very well the last 3 matches. We bonus points in all 3 of them. We've got the 2 Italian teams coming up back to back in the next couple of weeks. But for us, we want to win silverware. We say it every year, and you get fed up with saying it, but as a team, as a squad, that's what we want. And I know people maybe get fed up, but there's no one gets more fed up than us as players, because we do push ourselves so hard, and we do have huge expectations for ourselves. So we know we're in a bit of a difficult spot, but I think we're coming back fighting, and we know every game now towards the end of the season is a must win, get us to the playoffs and go on to win.
Yeah. Well, all the best of luck on Friday night. I wait in anticipation for this video if there is going to be one for Comic Relief, and it has to top the pre. It has to top.
Maybe just get the original one out there. You can tweet it, send it to me. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Let's share it out. I think
it's the best thing.
Oh, I've seen it alright. Yeah.
And you watch it every night, don't you?
Yeah. Whoever hasn't seen it needs to see it right now.
Is it you?
It's like a permanent fixture every week. It's like a certain time of the week for watching the video.
My voodoo doll.
Well, no, boys, thanks so much for coming on, and thanks so much for chatting.
Thank you very much.
Once again, apologies from Kate, but I'm sure next time she'll.
Yes, I'm sure we'll see her. I'm looking forward to seeing Gilly run alongside her in the marathon now.
We agreed it was Paul Marshall.
Oh, sorry,
Paul Marshall. Yeah. We got to speak to Paul and see.
We'll rope him in for
it. Yeah. Well, look, thanks. Cheers, boys.
Lovely.
Look, thanks. Cheers, boys.
Lovely.
Look, thanks. Cheers, boys.
Lovely.
Look, thanks.